Yes, we are.
Okay.
Welcome to Bunnies TV, live and free across Australia and around the globe. This is the Rabbitohs 22, Bears 18, grand final recap show. What a win it was. It's Mavo here, and I'm joined by Milo. We were at the game. It was a good day.
Fantastic day, Steve Maven. Fantastic day. It started off with a bit of nerves early in the day, but as soon as I jumped into the car and headed out, the excitement was there, and I couldn't wait to get to the ground and get that atmosphere into me.
It was just a perfect day at the footy for us Rabbitohs fans. It was a nice sort of warmish day, and I got there early too, and everything just panned out perfectly in the day. And yeah, we got the win. It was a historic win.
It was a historic win.
And it was a great game of footy too, wasn't it?
Fantastic game of football. The lead changed 3 times, and you know, if that wasn't an all-time classic game, nothing will ever be. You know, it was what a fantastic grand final that was. It was up and down. Look, it was going from one end of the field to the other by the end of the game, and you just didn't know what way it was going to go.
A shout out to the Bears fans. They are in good spirits. They're not like a couple of other types of fans that we don't get on with. They're usually a good bunch of people, and they cheered for their side. I had one guy go on one of our posts and say, "Yous were too good. It was a great day. It was like the old days of South and North. So brought back memories of old clashes." And yeah, so commiserations to them.
And honestly,
we got it done.
But honestly, from where I was sitting in the grandstand, a lot of North Sydney supporters around me, they're all well behaved. Nobody was giving anybody any trouble at all. You know, despite the way the way the lead had seesawed and stuff like that, and some of the decisions the referee had put down, there was no bad blood from anyone. Everybody, you know,
yeah.
It was a good mood. It was just a really friendly, great crowd to be in.
It was, and same with our guys. We weren't bagging the Bears. I mean, you know, the Bear was walking around, and the fans, they're only on the other side of the harbour from us, so it was in good spirits. It was played in good spirits. We are live and free on Bunnies TV, like I said, and I've got channel members in here. Karina Haase, all the way from Germany. Guten Tag to you, Karina.
Hello, Karina.
David Morton, who was there yesterday, and I got a photo of him with various people on the day. He's in the highlights video, and if you haven't seen my highlights package from yesterday, there's a link in the description of this video now. It's been well received.
Plenty of good stuff.
Plenty of stuff there, so it's got all the tries and all the interaction with the players afterwards. So it was an enjoyable day, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Richard Enriquez says the mighty Rabbitohs will be there at Acor on grand final day. Well done, boys. Yes,
we are.
That is.
There's
great.
One more trophy for the cabinet coming.
That is great. You said that, Enrique, because the state championship kicks off at 1:20 p.m. Breaking news here on Bunnies TV. I just had a look at that. Now, ironically, we play the Brisbane Tigers, who beat the Burleigh Bears 22-18. It wasn't a good day for Bears in either state. But the same scoreline. However, the difference was that the winning team, Brisbane Tigers, only scored 3 tries, whereas the Burleigh Bears scored 4. Unfortunately, Tyrone Roberts was the goal kicker for Burleigh and only kicked 1 from 3, whereas Jonah Pezzett for the Brisbane Tigers kicked all 3 of his conversions and landed 2 penalty goals. And in the end, that was the difference. So goal kicking is important. Look what Footy Dean was doing yesterday. He had a good day with the boot as usual.
He's been on fire with the boot.
And unfortunately, Burleigh Bears featured a hat trick by Tony Francis. So he scores a hat trick in the GF and gets done. He wouldn't be too happy today, but that's footy.
It is. It's hard luck. It's totally hard luck. Tyrone Roberts is usually a fantastically safe goal kicker. It's not a great day. It's not a great day to have your worst day of kicking.
No.
You know, because honestly, he's a high class player. Tyrone Roberts.
He is.
Plenty of first grade experience with the Newcastle Knights, as well as the Gold Coast Titans, yep.
Yeah,
And just an all-round great. We even spent time in England as well. So he's got a mountain of experience, and what hard luck having a bad day with the ball, with the kick. With the boot, Tyrone Roberts.
He's probably on his Mad Monday now if you're watching this, mate.
But, Jonah Pezzett, I know he's been playing halfback for the Melbourne Storm this season a couple of times.
There you go.
He's got a bit of class about him, especially when you can play halfback in a team like the Storm.
Yep.
You're playing well.
Oh, my word, you are. So I think he filled in for Jerome Hughes, didn't he?
Well, that's right.
To
know that the thing is, he's got that first grade experience, and it probably goes to the fore when you're, with his goal kicking in other areas as well.
Now, other names I noticed for the Brisbane Tigers is Corey Thompson and George Jennings. I think he played for the Bunnies for a little while there, didn't he, George? So they're both good players.
Played for the Bunnies for a little while. He's been around.
Corey Thompson, really good for the Doggies for a while, wasn't he?
Corey Thompson played excellently with the Dogs. Played excellently with the Titans as well. He was a really go-to man there at in all positions for the Gold Coast Titans. He played a bit of fullback on the wing and in other places as well. So
they're a good side. It's going to be a good game. Now, just on people having good days with a boot, that's a segue into the Jersey Flegg. Now, they won. They beat the Roosters 22-20. Shout out to me mate Driscoll. He's the trainer there, the blue shirt, and unfortunately they got rolled. The Doggies were the better team on the day. Joash Papali'i striking them beautifully, and he only missed one goal from the sideline, but he kicked another one from the sideline and never looked like missing because I was standing there filming him. And so
really
there's another kid
talented.
Another kid that had a good game for them too.
Harry Hayes.
Yeah.
Harry Hayes, he was the last pass on the 2 tries, as well as scoring one himself. So 2 try assists and a try for Harry Hayes. Really good up-and-coming player, really big man. The Bulldogs look strong in their junior ranks for next season.
They do indeed, and that
as well as
few good sides.
Our co-commentator. Our co-commentator Dallas. Sorry, Dallas. I'm so sorry, Dallas.
Things are bigger and better
there. No, but Dallas did mention Geordie Mazzoni as a guy to watch. During our the time we commentated on the particular Souths Bulldogs game, and late in the rounds there at Redfern Oval.
Well, Geordie Mazzoni is a star winger, and we have called a game or two that he's played in on Bunnies TV, so regulars might remember him. He's got the long hair and he's fast and he's big, and they beat us quite convincingly, our Flegg team, at Redfern Oval. And he scored a double yesterday in the GF. Thank you very much. So he's a good player. And there's someone else that
my buddy Robert Rose. Shout out to you, Robert Rose. He mentioned Todd, the front rower.
Yep.
Jack Todd, the front rower for the Bulldogs. He just said he's first grade quality. He said he watched him and he does all the little 1%ers really well. He's a guy that'll be going up in the first grade for sure in due course.
So if anyone's wondering why I put those little bits of content on the channel, it's because I can. And it doesn't matter that it's not the Rabbitohs, because it was just fun to film that. Some of that was excellent play, and I just like putting rugby league on the channel and just to give us a bit of a wider appeal. And they'll beating the Roosters. It's not that I played for the Doggies that I've got a connection, but anyway, it was.
We like seeing the Roosters beaten. I won't shy away from it. I dead set enjoy the Roosters being beaten.
Yep.
And it's like a South Sydney win for me if the Roosters are getting done. That's it.
Indeed.
Bottom line.
Now, the first game when we got there was Maitland Pickers versus St Mary Saints, and Maitland Pickers put them away quite convincingly. I did put up a couple of things that I shot of them too. I was just sort of doing it, getting my eye in for the main game, and that sort of worked out well. And in the end, it was quite an eye-opener, because I was getting behind the post at the northern end, which was fine for when they're attacking, but then I went to go behind the post at the other end, and they'd shut that off to everyone, which wasn't ideal. So the only place you can go was looking into the sun and the try line. And so on my highlights package, you might notice that some of the stuff is just me filming the scoreboard, because that was the only place that I could film the actual action without looking straight into the sun. But anyway, I still managed to capture plenty of highlights, like I said. Now, one man and his whiteboard has joined us. Guys, Coach Shane Sultana was a big influence helping out the squad as well. Oh, mate, Shane Sultana is a great bloke, and he is a valuable coach. He loves it. I was talking to him at training. I've been talking to him during the week and the last few weeks, and I think he was working with the women's team, and he did his best there, but he's happy to be working with the boys now. And, yeah, he's a good coach. And I like that name, one man and his whiteboard. Are you a coach as well, mate?
He's keeping an eye on things. Yes, just jotting down the moves on the whiteboard. No, it's a very great name. I like it. One man, his whiteboard. Very good. Yeah. So next Sunday, like I said, 1:20 p.m. the state championship, big game. They've got some quality players. Hopefully, our boys don't get, they can back up from their mad Monday celebrations. But if you're watching this, boys, we love your work. That was so good. I know. I know. One thing Taffy mentioned, there's still one more game to go. He said we're going to get the Queenslanders. Next week, we're going to get the Queenslanders. So, sure, a couple of beers, last night after the big win. But I'm sure they're focused on, this could be they're heading for their first interstate cup that the Rabbitohs will have.
Exactly.
So this team, they'll be immortal.
They will.
I will. I'll just put it there.
Yep.
They can be the first South Sydney team to claim the Interstate Club Challenge.
Yeah.
And that puts them into an
elite
level.
Class.
Yeah.
The Reggie Immortals. That you might have to start a new. A second-tier immortal category. But anyway, we've still got some stuff to talk about the game here. So I got there early, and I got a free parking space right at the front of the stadium in the Paraleagues Club. And I went for a stroll around the Para CBD. I caught up with you and
Robert
Rose in Macca's. We had a coffee, and we got a game
starter.
We got the game plan going. Then once I got into the stadium, I basically worked the entire stadium, apart from where I couldn't go. Sat with you guys on halfway. You got pole position there on halfway, didn't you?
Couldn't believe our luck. The fantastic thing with New South Wales Rugby League just making all the tickets general admission was that I managed to get the first tier right on the row A, right on the halfway line. I took a bit of footage, but unfortunately the sun got into my lens.
Yep.
So we'll try and salvage some footage for the channel later.
Yeah,
but
maybe some audio. You were calling the action.
Yeah.
So you were.
I can't stop myself. I couldn't help myself with some of the calling. But yeah.
So we might try and find some stuff out of that. And yeah, so then I went and sat with Dallas behind the northern end. He was sitting behind the post there in the shade. I visited the Burrow a couple of times, and that was very enjoyable, especially at the end when I went up and they're playing the drums and they're singing songs and they're celebrating our magnificent win.
Oh, fantastic.
I also went right up the back behind you on halfway, right up the back in the nosebleeds to as far up as you could go to get a photo, a panoramic photo. And it's actually not too bad up there to watch the game. A stadium has been built so that not one seat is bad in the entire place.
Exactly. It's the steepness of the seating. It gets you really close to the action. You don't feel like everyone looks like an ant out there on the field.
Yeah. Now, I knew someone had asked this. Richard Enrique said, does anyone know what was the ruling with the no try in the second half when Taffy kicked the ball through the line? Seemed a fair try. Now, it was a bit of a bludger of a day. It was first of all, we were looking into the sun trying to film, so it's very hard for us to see. Now, I did want to try and get a chance to go through the replay today, but I haven't been able to do that. So maybe someone in the live chat that's had another look at it can say. But before I move on,
offside.
Before I move, I
think it could have been offside.
Yeah, right.
No, that was my thoughts at the time. I thought, I think this could have been a bit of offside from just gone a bit too early there.
So the whole bunker and officiating was a bit off at the game. You could tell it wasn't an NRL standard thing because the very first time they went to say no try or try, they flashed up. It took them ages, and then they flashed up try, and it was no try, and they played on. And no one could trust the scoreboard. Then you just had to watch what the refs said after that, and so it was a little bit of a debacle.
It was a disgrace, really.
So And so at the ground, we were none the wiser. Usually you're at the ground and it's the bunker. You get to watch exactly what happened in slow-mo. And we could have an opinion on that, but we haven't.
Even the referees talking to the bunker, you get that. You usually get that stuff when you're at an NRL game.
Yeah,
So,
well, the New South Wales Rugby League probably doesn't have the same budget as the NRL. Well, obviously, they don't. But, yeah, you did expect a little bit better in 2023 to just get someone who knows how to push all the right buttons in the right positions there. So, unfortunately, we don't know, mate. And, if someone can come up with what that is. But in the end, doesn't matter because we still won.
Exactly.
So, now, I didn't see my mate Greg Allen, the uncool dad, but he was out there and I spoke to him today. He had a great day. And his article for bunniestv.au I put out late last night, and I used some of my photos with his words, and it's a good recap. He had a great day too, so you'll find that on my website, bunniestv.au, and make sure you bookmark the site so that you can look at all our regular articles there. Now, best performances, we don't like to single anyone out because it was a 1-17 performance. Like Joe O'Callaghan said, he doesn't, but there is some key performers, and
of course.
I've just written down here, Shaq, Taffy, Hawkins, O'Neill, Rami, Frenchie, and Duncan, to name a few. Yeah.
Oh, well, of course, we just start with Shaq. That first try where he...
Well, we're going to go through the tries.
Go through it, yeah. Let's go right to there.
Let me bring up the result first. We haven't brought this up yet. This is the result. It was 22-18, and Shaq Mitchell scored in the 14th minute. Ethan O'Neill in the 32nd. Tommy Carr in the 51st, and Tai Munro in the 75th minute. The game clincher. For them, it was Alfred Smiley, Jesse Marsky, who scored a really good try.
That was a fantastic try from Jesse Marsky, yeah.
And Rains G said Zach Docker claimed man of the match. Well, he went close to it. He was one of those guys that probably could have won it from the opposition. He was great.
He was in everything.
And Ruben Porter scored in the 68th minute. And you can see there it was at half time, it was 12-all. Now we're going to go through the tries. We'll start with the Shaq try we just showed you. So a little short ball from Pete Mamazelis, a little crash ball. They're all there, but Shaq got the ball down next to the post there. You can see that there. And got us on the board after they scored the first try.
He just barged his shoulder into Kurt Louis there and their other front rower. He just crashed straight into him. Just turned beautifully, like just as he ran head onto the line and just turned right as he got to it and bumped his shoulder into Kurt Louis and then just dropped straight over the line.
Oh mate, he's been doing that since he was a kid, running into his brother Trell. Just get out the way, little fella, getting the ball over the line, and I know I enjoyed that.
And Footy Dean, no worries there. Easy conversion, 6-4.
Beautiful. Try number 2, Ethan O'Neill. Pete Mamazelis, good service to Footy Dean. Puts it on the toe, and look at Ethan. He's keen, and he gets it down.
Nothing was going to stop him.
No way he was not going to get that ball down, and look at how happy he was about it. He was holding the cup after the game, and he's a champion guy, Ethan O'Neill. I'm really happy for him and in his family.
Well, he's got the big aspirations. He said, right, I want to play first grade.
Yep.
That's my goal, and honestly, with stuff like that, where you just that single-mindedness to just want to be on that ball, the first man to it.
You saw it there. Keen.
Very keen.
When it matters.
Beautiful work.
And someone in one of the posts I made said that they haven't watched a lot of New South Wales Cup this year, so it was a bit of an eye-opener to see these boys running around, and one of them was Ethan. He said, this kid's pretty good, and he is. If we need an edge-back rower or the mobile edge-back rower, look no further than young Ethan
Of course,
Ferguson.
Feel free to go through the Bunnies TV archives.
Yeah.
Go for the Bunnies TV archives. We've got plenty of the New South Wales Cup games there. And you can see how the team's been going all season. Yeah, so I did say Ethan Ferguson there because he was there as well, running around on the field, but he was just doing the support for the boys. But Ethan O'Neill had a great game. Now we're getting into that was the first half. Now the second half, Tommy Carr, one of our favourites here, and this is a good try. Love Tommy Carr.
Pete Mamazelis. Shaq runs a decoy, gets it out to Tallis, out to Footy Dean, out to Dion, who gets it to Isaac, juggles the ball and finds Tommy Carr in space out there in the corner.
Knows how to finish him.
So you might have saw there, Shaq ran a decoy, so we passed the ball behind him. And then Matty French ran an inside line, and what he did is, so just watch Frenchie here. We're going to play this one again. When Frenchie runs that inside line, the defender just stops.
The number 15,
And that defender is the guy that would have got Tommy Carr. So let's just have a look here. So The ball goes out. Now, when it gets to Dean Hawkins, look, Frenchie goes on the inside. 15 just props there on the left, and now 15's coming across. If he doesn't prop there, he might have made that tackle. And that's why it's important that the guys that run these decoy lines and they run these executed plays, they're as important as the guys making the passes or the final pass for the try.
Exactly, they are. No, there's no doubt about it that these guys slow down other players. The decoy players slow down other players. They get in the prop for a second, and that just helps get it out to the sideline to have a man unmarked out there for those tries. And
Vol Rathy's made a comment that he loved not only watching Hawkins in attack, he was constantly working in defence. So that's right. He works on both sides of the ball, and he played a real captain's knock yesterday. Didn't put a foot wrong, setting up tries, kicking goals, and he'll be back at the Rabbitohs next year. Dean Hawkins, he's signed for I think one more year. We'll see how that goes down the track. Whether he's going to push for first grade, I don't know, but that remains to be seen. But he's doing all the right things.
Doing all the right things, definitely.
Yep. So that was a good try. Yeah, there's a few there. I'm keeping an eye on. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Now, try 4 was simply the best. So Pete again, he gets it out to Footy Dean, who cuts out 2 players and gets it to Blakey Taff, who finds Tai on the outside to win the game. Tyrone Munro.
5 minutes to go, and where I was sitting, I said that seals the match.
Yep.
I said that one seals the match. I couldn't see the Bears coming back from that at all.
No.
I didn't think we'd make any more mistakes after that.
There was a bit of time left, but we sort of knew then that the game was done, and
that broke their hearts, definitely.
Yeah. Now
that was you could feel the deflation behind me of the North Sydney supporters in the stand.
Yeah.
And there was, you could just feel that big deflation in the whole ground as soon as Tyrone went over.
We've been joined by CJ Moxley, and it was good to see you out there, mate. It was a good day in the Burrow. I seen you in there, and we had a great day. But just back to this try. So this was the perfect play, executed just on point by these boys to get the ball to Tyrone. Now, what you don't see too clearly because of the angle of the camera is that when Footy Dean Hawkins, also known as just Footy now. So when Footy gets the ball, we get 2 decoys running through, Ethan O'Neill and Jacob Gagai, the centre. They both push through, and what that does is engages the defensive line, but it gives Taffy the ball in space for a simple 2-on-1, draw and pass, and Taito goes in untouched. Now, you'll see these decoy runners again if you look for it, and I'm going to play it again for you.
And when you see it, you'll notice that 3 blokes, I think, have been pulled up.
Yeah.
They've managed, those 2 decoy runners have actually stopped 3 players from getting out there and created that 2-on-1 for Taffy.
That's right. And Dean puts the ball straight on Taffy's chest, and it's a long ball too. You have a look. So here it is here. Walker gets the ball. The 2 boys push through, back up behind him, and look, the centre nearly falls over trying to adjust.
And also, you just noticed there for a second too that Hawko dummied to actually kick through.
Oh yeah, he showed it.
Yeah, he showed that he was going to kick through, and he's propped another. Jesse Marchke has just stopped there, looking to turn around, and that's more or less with the 2 decoy players coming through and Jesse Marchke being propped up. There's where the 3 players have been stopped for the North Sydney Bears there and created that 2-on-1 on the outside.
Ned Kelly's joined us. Hello, mate. He said it was a great win, Mavo. It was a great win. We really did enjoy that. And just while I was clipping up that try, like 2 weeks ago, you might have heard me talk about how all the tries were just great passes and they were just a well-drilled outfit. And they pull out that play at that time and execute it perfectly like that to win a title for the Rabbitohs. So that's a memorable moment. And up the other end, about 5-10 minutes before, Tyrone went up to catch a ball and put it down. And in the next set of 6, the Bears scored under the post, and we thought we were Gonski. A lot of people watching this would have thought, poor old Tyrone, he's had a good year, but unfortunately he's put it down just when we didn't need him to because he's got good hands. But I did speak to Richard Nassif, and he said to me that when that happened, he thought, you know what, champion players make up for that, and he did. And it was so good to see young Tyrone get the chocolates for the team.
It was fantastic. It was honestly, yeah. Tyrone could have thought, I've lost us to grand final there, dropping that pass, and then the Bears scoring in a couple more tackles underneath the posts.
Yeah.
And, and also, after the Bears scored that try, I want to just single out the fact that it nearly, that timeout wasn't given, and the Bears kicker took at least 2 minutes. Yeah. He made sure he took at least the maximum amount of time he possibly could for an in-front kick. As you do, and Dean Hawkins repaid that after the Tyrone Munro try to make sure he took his time.
Yeah.
But the referee wasn't going to buy it this time, and
he stopped the clock.
He stopped the clock. He stopped the clock, and because, of course, we wanted that. We wanted. The referee had an option there when he could see that the North Sydney player was just taking a mountain of time to do it. He could have stopped the clock there too, but he chose to do it for the South guys. So
it doesn't matter in the end.
But it doesn't matter in the end, of course.
Yeah. Now Tyrone Munro scored 1 million tries in his life, and that was an easy one. He only had to just catch the ball and run over and score. But having said that, he still had to put himself in position to be there to do it, because good wingers put themselves in position. They're running onto the ball on the right. You've only got to see what happened in the Broncos game with that Reece Walsh forward pass. The ref should have went to Specsavers, surely. How you missed that, I don't know. But for all the great lead-up work, all the decoy runners and all the great passing and all the long balls, it was Tyrone's time to shine, and I really am happy for young Ty. Love your work, mate. Now, just a little bit extra to that. So at halftime, I bumped into. Well, I was just going to get a drink, and I was coming back, and I heard a little voice say "Mavo," and I looked around, and it's little JJ who's been on the show, and he's the one who said, I said pick a player to score in the second half, and he said Munro, and he did, and then on top of that, when we were down the sideline, and we've already said the Buddy show. Did we say the Buddy story, or that was in the? What?
Sorry, the Buddy stories. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about that later, because that was right at the end of the game.
Okay, we're going to. All right. Well, I'll just say it now. So Buddy comes over and he goes. A bloke in the crowd says, "Buddy, I've got a autograph from you when you made your debut." And Buddy goes, "Well, you wouldn't believe it. We're just talking over there, and we're talking about Tyrone. Tyrone was only 5 months old when I made my NRL debut." So,
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
And that was 2005. And I've actually got a poster here from 2005, the 2005 Rabbitohs. And unfortunately, Buddy's not in there because he made his debut in round 13. And so they must have made that poster up before that. Anyway, he made his debut in a team that had a draw with the Dogs.
The evergreen Buddy Gordon.
They had a draw with the Dogs in his debut. Then a week later, he scores a try in a win over Manly. So, yeah, incredible stat that a bloke is still playing, winning a title with a kid that was only born the year he made his debut. So, unbelievable, the stories and lines around this. Now, Ben Lovett, unfortunately, he did his... he's had a scan on his patella. He did his knee. His kneecap popped out. It was an injury that happened earlier in the season, I believe. And shout out to you, Benny. I was filming that, and I did clip up a little bit of it. And he has had a good year. He made his debut this year. He became Rabbitoh 1189, I think it was. And, yeah, so get well soon, mate. And we're thinking of you.
Exactly, we are.
All right, so, yeah, we've done the tries. So we were up to that. I had to turn the page. We're a well-oiled machine here on Bunnies TV. And Ned Kelly said he was a very ordinary ref. He was. But, the other ref got the sack the week before for making those mistakes in the Roosters and the Storm game. Ashley Klein, I think it was.
Oh, it was disgraceful.
This guy got the gig. They're usually pretty good, those blokes. I don't know. But,
well, you'd expect more from Jared Sutton with that stuff that was going on up there with that forward pass that Reece had thrown.
Yeah, well, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was poor because they were sort of still in the game at that stage. I think it was 24-12. So, if they score again, they're back in it. But then that three
Well, this is the thing. That gets pulled up and the Warriors are in great field position and you don't know what happens next.
Yeah, there you go. And so the ref was there. The touchy was there. I think maybe both of them might be in the Reggies next week and getting their specs. Someone said, Val Rathy said, I don't think they were expecting 10,000 at the game. There was only one bar and one food vendor open. Yeah, so that was a bit poor, I think, wasn't it? I did notice the line for the bar. It was lucky I wasn't drinking because there's not much fun when you stand in the line for that long. So maybe they could have done it a bit better. So they didn't get the scoreboard right. They didn't get the bar right.
Yeah.
But what did get right was the result. That's all that matters.
Well, of course, the poor planning the New South Wales Rugby knew that 10,000 people were going to be there.
They said the tickets were sold. They already knew.
They already knew.
Anyway, so David Morton has said he has a 2006 top prospects signature of Golden Buddy Gordon. So there you go. I've seen you getting a lot of autographs, Dave. His collection is probably deserves to be in a museum. But yeah.
Well, that could be worth something at a charity auction there, David. If you're that'd work out somewhere in a charity auction. I don't know how it'd go out there on the open market. How Buddy Gordon rates for his autograph and stuff, but
mate,
it's absolute gold as far as South Sydney supporters are concerned.
Well, whatever he was worth, it just got more valuable after yesterday's knock-on effect New South Wales Cup performance.
And again, Buddy Gordon probably played his best game of, he was out there for a lot of minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
He played a lot of minutes out there.
Yeah.
And he just had a fantastic game. He put in some big hits. His tackling was superb, actually, towards the end of the game when it really counted. He was knocking down those Bears players, and he was taking the ball up, making big yards.
Yeah,
making big yards.
So we did speak to Joe O'Callaghan about that. I'm not sure if he said it in his interview or just spoke to me and Richie off camera, but he talked about who he was going to use, and he told us we knew that Tallis wasn't going to start, even though he was named to start. He did it the week before, and what he'd done is put Rampage Rami on. He wanted some big bodies out there to soften up the big guys on the opposition.
And he sure did that.
And it worked out perfectly because Tal come on and played the remaining 60 minutes, had a great game. He was all over the shop in defence and Ned Kelly says, I think Mavo's top coverage all year boosted the crowd. Mate, I actually feel like I can take credit for maybe a couple of hundred or maybe a couple of thousand people going to that game that might not have done it before, because I did some of the stuff I put out there. Like one post I put on Facebook had nearly 300,000 interactions. So there's a lot of people knew about the game thanks to Bunnies TV. So what I did skip over, Milo, was I mentioned those names and I didn't say anything about them. So I'm just going to go back.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Right, so we did say Shaq. Now, Shaq, yes, he scored that try, but his charges, they couldn't hold him.
No, they couldn't hold him.
He was on fire. I had an interview with him at training during the week, and he was talking about how he bleeds red and green and he loves his club. So is ever a bloke that's playing for his professional life and to point to prove, and look how far he's come, is ever a bloke's going to go out and have a big game? It was in that game, and he did.
It meant the world to him that he was playing in a grand final. We talked to him there at training, and he just loved the fact that he was going to play in a Rabbitohs grand final. And it showed it. He just monstered them, and honestly, his tackling was superb. He toughed it out with those big forwards that North Sydney brought. That North Sydney team was stacked with NRL players. Like they thought they could just just bring off blokes from anywhere into their side and think they could get away with it.
Yeah.
And Coach Joe, he stuck with his boys, the boys that had been on 8 in a row.
Yeah.
He stuck with them.
He did.
And he played those same players. He wasn't thinking, I could bring Jed Cartwright in or, I could put Tane Milne into the team. No. He stuck with his boys who'd been doing the job for a lot of games.
That's right.
And
they got the job done.
That was a unit that had been working together for a lot of weeks, and they showed that they could win a grand final.
They did. And Joe said that to me when I asked him about bringing blokes in. He said it wouldn't be fair to the guys. A lot of these guys have put in all year. They come to train and they've got to go to work. A lot of them are part-timers. And, that was unbelievable.
You see Brock Gray turn up with his work shirt, jumping over he's done a 9 to 5 number. He comes in, and then he's 2.5 hours of training and the rest of it.
And that's what he said about Buddy Gordon as well. He said, Bud's not in the top 30. He said he's got 3 kids, and you know what it's like. 5 o'clock in the arvo, he works for South Cares. He's probably been out doing work, and last thing you want to do is go and work out in the gym and go for 2 hours ball work and that, but he does it. And the reason he does that is because, he's a winner.
And as Joe said, he's the first guy in there. He's geeing the boys up. He's hooking in, and and he's bringing that team together.
And Shaq said that he's been a good influence on him too. AIS Spaces joined us, said, "Go the Bunnies, what a win for us." Yes, it was. Now, solving the money problem with a tick, said, "The New South Wales Cup win helps ease the pain of our first grade capitulation this year," with a laughing face. Great job from the boys. Yes.
It does.
We agree.
Hey, and
it was great. It was
silverware in the cupboard, as I said, and it's a beautiful looking trophy. There's no doubt about it. If you haven't seen it,
it's sensational.
Mavo's put it out on all his socials. It looks fantastic. It's a lovely looking trophy.
Did we show the photos? Well, we'll just talk about the photos while I'm here. Our grand final pick selected. What? I don't know if you showed them. We did show them before, but there's one of the trophy. Just while I'm going to mention Taffy, and he got man of the match, and well deserved. There's a few guys could have got it, and he set up the try like we said for Tyrone, and
all those kicks in it in goal. He was there tackling the North Sydney boys, keeping them in there.
Yeah, and also he tackled a bloke at the in goal, and he was busy all day, and so.
Linking up on both sides of the ruck, just fantastically.
Yep, we're still waiting for the cup. There it is. You took that
Ethan
photo.
O'Neill.
Ethan O'Neill of the cup. So it's a huge cup. It's massive. And there was another cup too that a few of them got a photo with. So it was a double. One of them was the New South Wales Cup or something or whatever it was. Anyway, that was good. And now, Blake, he came into the team after getting knocked out in that disastrous Roosters loss. And that was his first game since that. And he didn't miss a beat. And he... man of the match in the game, and he'll be back. He's going to definitely be playing.
We're ready to get the Queenslanders next week.
He did, and we have had a chat about Ethan O'Neill. He was good. Jackson Rami. So he was, like I said, he started for Tallis, and I think he played a couple of stints, and right at the very end, he put a shot on, which was the shot of the day on...
Shot of the day on Zach Docker-Clay, the North Sydney captain. He 30 seconds to go, and that put the game to bed. Jackson Rami shot on the North Sydney captain just put a big emphasis mark onto that game.
Yeah, exclamation point. It nearly put... Zach Docker-Clay to bed.
And it did, and he was a bit shaky getting up after that, but...
the shot of the day on Docker-Clay, that rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? And Frenchie, one of our favourites, he saved his best for last too. He made a break.
Oh.
He's nearly ran the length.
Honestly, I couldn't get my camera going at all at the time, and I was in the sun. It wouldn't have looked good anyway, but I was the same. Frenchie, you're a legend.
You are.
He picked up the ball from the South Sydney 30 and ran it down to the North Sydney 5 metre point.
Yeah, and I was the same. I had my phone, so I was filming.
Jeez.
I was filming the stuff in front of me.
The little legs were pumping. Legs were pumping there, Frenchie, and we willed you to get there. It's too bad the Norths boy was just a tad quicker at the time.
Yeah,
so.
It was a comedy of errors. Like, my phone was locked, and by the time I got it undone, I couldn't get me face recognition, and so I sort of missed it too. Just got it as he got tackled. So it was a debacle. Me and Milo were frantically trying to open our phones as Frenchie's away in the run of the day.
But please go. It'll be there on New South Wales Rugby League TV.
Yeah, you watch the replay.
Enjoy that moment of Frenchie making the biggest break of the game.
I tried to set up 9 Now for me dad to watch, and he said he couldn't get it on there. I don't know if it wasn't on. I think it was, but he's 86 and he struggled to get it going. And because I cast it to his smart TV, so I don't know what happened. If anyone watched it on 9 Now, can you confirm so that I can tell him that I don't know. It was on Live Sport, and I can only see the Sport tab. So anyway, it was a bit... Why don't they just put it on Fox or Channel 9 normal channel so that people don't have to stuff around that aren't used to using those sort of different things, He's not on Facebook, and he's not tech savvy to cast an app to his smart.
And not everybody wants to join up to Facebook, and do all that stuff.
Well, he was on Facebook, me dad, and he kept getting all scams and viruses. He didn't know what to click and what not to.
That's right. That's why a lot of people drop off Facebook because they end up with all that stuff.
You're not on either.
No.
Yeah. There you go. Different generation.
Yeah, I've tried Facebook, and of course it's just a lot of different people out there. You don't know what's going on, and I just thought I've had enough of this, and just
fair enough.
Stop
Each
my
to their
Facebook page. Yeah,
but Bunnies TV is very strong on Facebook. Follow us there.
YouTube is fine. YouTube, you only get a lot of advertising on YouTube, generally speaking, and that's about it, you know. But if you subscribe to. You can subscribe to YouTube too and not have any ads at all.
True, that's true. You can pay for a YouTube Premium, which I do, you get unlimited music then too. So that's good. But you know, on Facebook, just before we move on, we've got nearly 8,000 people following us there. If you're not following us, just go and like our page, follow Bunnies TV there. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
And one more person to mention, Tallis Duncan.
Yeah.
And again, Tallis, solid in defence. Ran the ball up a lot, and as well as that, he's just a great link man at the moment as well. He's doing that Cameron Murray stuff that Cam does in the first grade. He's the link man in this team. He's just a good option there when to get the link up with with Dion on the left, or alternatively with Hawko on the right hand side.
Yep, he's the type of footballer that's got that skill. They can be the link man and throw a great pass. He can take the line on and make a break.
Exactly.
You've seen his first try he scored. He's got pace. He can run away and score. And he puts shots on. So he's ticking all the boxes, young Tell. Don't worry about that. Now, Joe O'Callaghan got the Gatorade shower, and I caught that just on the camera. And the boys got him, and they enjoyed that. They all come and piled on him, and that was good. You got to love a Gatorade shower.
Just wonderful stuff.
I hope they didn't get him. It was pretty close to knocking him out, poor old Joe, but he looked like he was okay. Now, we talk about the Matty Mitchell got a photo of Shaq. We showed that. It was in there, so that was a good moment
and
as
young
well.
Cook, the young fella that just signed up. You mentioned him. We both met him before. It was the photo with
Christopher Cook.
Christopher Cook, and his photo there with Blake Taff at the end of the game. And Christopher came up to us and let us know that earlier in the day he was there, nice and early.
There he
Christopher,
is.
yep. And Christopher let me know and let you know that he's a he loves our Rabbitohs TV, Bunnies TV channel.
Yeah,
that he watches it. Yeah.
Well, he sent me through a video of him singing in the Borough or singing a South song, and I put it on our channel, and he's been a big fan ever since. So if you've got any content you want me to share, please send it through. You can send it through to our email. There's an email in the description of this video. You can contact me there. You can get us on Facebook, Instagram, where I always reply to, so I won't let you down there. Now, Vol Rath, said there's one job left, can't wait. So one job is to go and win this state championship.
Exactly.
And then Richard Enriquez says, don't blame your dad. It was amateurish, and that's being generous. So, yeah, I mean, he's got a smart telly, and he doesn't use the smart version of it much, but I just had to flick on 9 Now, and you think you just turn on 9 Now and it'd be a featured game, and it'd just be there. I had to update it. I had to go to the bloody the store and update anyway. He couldn't find it. He said he had 50 tries. I felt sorry for him. He had 50 tries at trying to do it. The old bloke's just sitting there trying to get it going, and anyway, doesn't matter.
This is the thing, and I'll just go to this for a moment. 9 Now and 7 Plus and I'm unsure with 10 Play. I won't worry about that, but 9 Now and 7 Plus, they make you go have the link in your phone before you can cast it onto your TV. Whereas the professionals at SBS and ABC, you just go into their. That's right. You just go into their station there on your smart TV, and all their stuff comes up. You don't have to stuff around with links and that.
Yeah, I think they want your email because it's for marketing, because they're commercial, where the other ones are not too worried about that. Maybe the guy that was running the scoreboard was running the 9 Now app.
The fact is that 9 Now don't 9 Now all those guys that they don't shirk away from giving you 1,000 ads during their shows anyway. Yeah. So I don't know why they need all this extra bullshit to go on with. Yeah.
Well, the bullshit's the word. Now, David Morton said he's heard that there were some issues with people getting it on 9 Now. So hopefully I can go and report that to Dad that there was a few issues, because, like I said, I looked at the app because I checked for him when he told me he couldn't get it. On the app, it said live sport coming up, New South Wales Cup at 2:55. But when I was mucking around with it the other day, there was no live sport tab on the app on the telly. So got to be an investigation, as the great Tuvey once said. We'll move on. And Russell Coinch joined us. Hello, mate. And he said, great to see Hawkins show exactly what he offers. Time he got his chance. Well, there were a few people saying that on different forums, and
yes,
I can understand that. And
he had a superb kicking game yesterday. His deep kicking was good. His bombs were nice and high, giving our blokes plenty of time to get there to wrap up the North Sydney players. And honestly, for a few handling errors that we had in that game, we could have really blown that score right out. We could have blown them right out of the park. I mean, there were a lot of times we were down on their line and there was a knock on or just little errors. And again, it shows when you have 2 weeks break, and you're not playing week to week, and you end up having that 2 week break. It's good to get those injuries out of the way, but also you get a little bit rusty with that game day stuff.
It can work. It can work either way, but I think it did help us. They were fresh.
What I like going into this next game is the fact that the Tigers have had 2 weeks off, and we're only going into it a week off.
Oh, there you go.
So we're going into we've had a nice 2 week break, and we've shown that we can win, and we can go into the next game with a nice week's break. Get some of those little injuries. They'll have that nice full week to get the injuries right if there's any injuries in the team.
Yep.
And get all the physio and stuff and that done. And then we're probably going to the game. I'd imagine we're going to the game favourites because it's on our home turf as well. And we'll have the home ground support there. All the New South Wales people in the crowd.
Yep.
will no doubt get behind the Rabbitohs.
Oh, absolutely.
And on top of that we've only coming off a week's break, and they'll have had 2 weeks break and be a bit rusty, no doubt.
I spoke to some South fans that are always at the footy, and they were walking out, and I had a chat to them, and they said, we're going to the grand final. We were going anyway, and now we've got a team to watch. How good's this? So they're happy. There's a lot of South fans happy.
That's
Russell
right.
Coit said he never had any such troubles with the A-grade grand final. Best coverage ever. Thank you. We love that. And the Botany A-grader looked like getting an A-grade and an A reserves next year. And because I'm a Botany boy and I want to get involved, I'm thinking of just sort of following them and shooting some of their games, making it sort of like a Netflix documentary about the resurgence of the Botany A-grade. And so look forward for that. Look out for that. Raffy said, throw a like for the algorithm. So thank you. Yes. So if you can just like this video, leave a comment. So I know you're live chatting now. If you can leave a comment in the main video, that helps push, YouTube thinks, well, there's a lot of interaction. Let's push this up and for people to watch.
Now, also, there was a guy earlier, Ray G, NZ.
Yep.
Ray NZG. He got on and he mentioned one of the. I didn't see which. I think he's a Kiwi, and he was mentioning like one of the players I think was from his hometown.
Oh.
Now, he didn't. I don't know if that was at the time I was talking about Zach Docker Clay.
Yeah, okay.
It might be from his hometown, or I don't know if it's one of the Bunnies players that he was talking about. But if you're still watching this, Ray.
So I've got it here. Zach Docker Play. Thanks, bro. Young fella from my hometown.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Congrats.
So it might have been Zach Docker Clay that he was talking about. Anyway,
yeah.
Was
it? Yeah, young fella. Was it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, young fella. Yeah. So Zach Docker Clay he must be a Kiwi from his hometown.
Yeah.
Okay. And he is. And Rabbits are his second team. He's a Warrior, but Kiora.
Yeah, Kiora.
Mate,
Ray.
We love our Kiwis over here on
Bunnies
TV.
we do, and we've got a lot of Kiwi players. Kiwi lads that are in our South Sydney system as well.
We have indeed.
And,
we have indeed. And
we love the Maori boys. Yeah.
Ned Kelly said, I'm an old fella, and he watched on Facebook. So yeah, well, I probably should have set that up as a backup option for him. But anyway, so we'll move on. The boys train Tuesday, Thursday, and there'll be captain's run on Saturday.
Again.
So if you want to go out and watch them, they're at the Rabbitohs Centre. You can go in there and have a look. You can go out to the fields and watch them train. So Tuesday and Thursday around 5, 6 o'clock. You want to go and have a look, and then we'll be going live and free. So we're might get there and do some more interviews. There's a couple more boys we want to get. So,
and this time it'll be on the 9 network. This time that game, so it won't be hard to spot if you're here in Australia. You'll probably be just able to watch it on your normal Channel 9 network or one of those other ones, 9 Gem or something like that.
Well, Dick Maven will be happy to know that he can watch it.
And of course, Karina, who watched it on Facebook Live, she can watch it on 9. She can 9 now, I'd imagine.
I
hope so. I don't know what the deal is because sometimes you can't watch.
It's exclusive to
foreign,
9.
Oh, it's exclusive to 9.
Well, I know it's not on Fox, so I don't know. But we'll work something out for Karina over there. Okay, so we've got through a whole show. Thanks to everyone who's been on chatting, and we've just covered our glorious grand final. We haven't actually talked about first grade, and we'll let the NRL boys go off and have their their off season. Well, we'll just quickly cover the PNG game and also the grand final. So Cody and Cam, I mean, I wasn't really watching the game with much interest, but they didn't really set any, high bars or anything. They got the job done, the Aussies. I think the PNG side. Did you watch the game?
No, I didn't get to watch any. I didn't watch any of the game.
Well, they were up for it anyway, and the crowd were going mad. Like I mentioned it on the last show, the crowds there love it. And there was a video when they turned up. It was just like they were so happy to see him. So yeah, they were happy to see the Aussies go over there and they got the win.
Yeah, no, I watched the highlights package on YouTube. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the NRL Grand Final? The Panthers versus the Broncos.
Straight up, I'm going to tell you that I would love to see our former halfback Adam Reynolds lift the trophy. Just that he's a legend of our club. He helped us win the 2014 Grand Final.
Yep.
We waited 43 years for that Grand Final win, and I'd just love to see Adam Reynolds have a bit of glory for the end of his career. That he's not far off finishing his career. It'd be great to see him lift the trophy there. And to be honest, I think the Broncos are a stronger team right across the park. I love the guys in their front row like Flegler, Carrigan, and Huss.
Yeah.
As well as Billy Walters at hooker, who showed that he's just playing brilliantly. He played brilliantly against the Wars on the weekend, and that whole back line is just magnificent, right through. I mean, right through. Ezra Mam at 5'8", he's playing brilliantly. He's so fast. He's got a little kicking game there that's very, very good. He knows what he's doing with the ball. You can trust him there.
Yep.
And to Staggs and Herbie Farnworth in the centres, well, they are just on fire. Yeah.
Well, that's a big statement that they're better across the park because the two-time premiers going for a three-peat, they're pretty good too. Look,
they are. They are. They are. But I tell you, the off-the-cuff stuff that they've got, Reece Walsh has got going there. Their fullback,
Reece Lightning.
Reece Lightning. I tell you, the off-the-cuff stuff they've got.
Their fullback's
it doesn't matter. I don't think it'll matter how many points Penrith score. I think the Broncos can actually put those points back on and cover themselves, and cover it no matter what. And they've got, and honestly, the kicking games between the two teams nullify each other because, as we know, Adam Reynolds is a supreme kicker.
Yeah,
he is. He's got it all. He's got as good a kicking game as Nathan Cleary. Might not be as young and fast as Nathan is. Nathan is faster, of course, and has got a fantastic kicking game and a great football brain. But Adam Reynolds covers him in all those areas. Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
Well, Nathan Cleary is the complete footballer. He has not got a weakness. So that is one advantage for them. Whereas Renault, he's once the little legs start pumping, he does his best. But so it's the Panthers were unbelievable in their win, but so were the Bronx. So it's going to be a great game. They've got a lot of things that cancel each other out. I mean, Dylan Edwards is their fullback. So as much as you talk about Reece Lightning, I mean. Some people will probably go for Dylan Edwards if you gave them the choice. But, they're both good players, and it's a good story about the Broncos. I'd like to see it for Renault as well. I was only talking with my missus about this morning, and she said you should wish Renault all the best and all that. So Renault, if you're watching this, I know you're a fan of the channel. Good luck, mate. We hope you. I'd rather you win than Penrith because Penrith's like the evil empire. They wear black and they're too hard to beat. They always. But
they're the new evil empire. They're the new evil empire.
But they've got some great players.
Mate,
at the Panthers.
Should we also mention that the Newcastle girls are playing the Gold Coast Titans girls in their grand final, and the Gold Coast Titans girls could be the first Gold Coast team to win a grand final for the Gold Coast. So I'm actually I'd love to see that for the Gold Coast. They're footy mad at the Gold Coast, and I know the last time I went to the Gold Coast to watch a South Titans game, and there were more South supporters there than Titans supporters at the time. A good few years ago. And I know there's plenty of no doubt there's plenty of Bunnies TV supporters up there on the Gold Coast too.
There is.
Watchers, and I know there's plenty of Bunnies supporters there on the Gold Coast for sure.
It's about time a team from the Gold Coast got their act together, isn't it? They've
It is.
There's too much fun and games up there.
And it's unbelievable. In their inaugural season, these girls are going to the grand final. The Gold Coast Titans girls in their inaugural season are going to the grand final, and hopefully they win, and that will just be an excellent story. And then I can go back to our interstate challenge for our blokes. This for me is this will be our first. If we win it, it'll be our first interstate challenge cup.
Yep.
And not only that, but these guys, not only by being the first team in 40 years to win a New South Wales Cup this week, also make themselves immortal in my eyes by winning an interstate challenge and being the first South Sydney team to do that as well.
Yep.
You know, so they'll always be remembered. This group of players will always be remembered as the guys to do that first. So I hope that's enough motivation for the boys to really rip in this week, next weekend on Sunday at the big dance.
Glenn Carpenter's joined us, channel member. Thanks for your support, mate. And he said, Edwards Walsh, Big Chin / Reno. So, and Vol Raffy said it's a tough choice. The problem going for the Broncos is to win is that they are the Broncos. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, so but look, that's going to be a big game. Just back to the A grade. Russell Coit said Lexo Lions are meant to have a top tier. Must be a new team entering the comp. The Lexo Lions.
Lexo Lions? Is that down Maroubra way, Lexington Place?
Oh, yeah, Maroubra Lions. We'll get. Is that their nickname?
Lexo Lions. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one, but it's Maroubra.
There's good. Look, I used to live at Lexington Place.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Wow.
And it is Bunnies mad down there. Yeah, definitely.
It is. Yeah, shout out to our friends in Maroubra. Bunnies territory, heart of Bunnies territory. I think we'll wrap it up there, mate. We've covered a lot of ground, but it's we've got another week to go before this season ends, and it'd be nice to just go out with a bang and see our boys get the chocolates.
Put another bit of silverware in the cupboard.
Yep. See you later. Thanks for joining us on Bunnies TV, and thanks to everyone who's been chatting. George Pell, someone hacked me. Apologies, someone hacked me on the George. Anyway. I went over the top of my head, Russell, but thanks for chatting anyway, mate. We love your work.
Good on you, Russell Coit.
See you later.
Bye.
All Aussie adventures.